What's up everyone? So in this video I want to talk about not getting too arrogant and staying vigilant and not being complacent. So I think this is very important, and right now I think we're living in a time where I am pretty excited. I think YouTube will keep going. I'm really bullish about YouTube and the internet, and everyone's getting more and more prosperous. We recently went through a recession around 2008 and 2009, and that shook a lot of businesses. A lot of them closed down. A lot of successful businesses, a lot of people making millions of dollars, people becoming millionaires, all of a sudden they went to zero. And because of that, they're still shaken by that. Some of them have recovered, and they are keeping that in mind and being very cautious, and they remember that. But there will come a time 10, 20, 30, 50 years into the future, maybe a year into the future, you never know, and there will be a time when people forget, where they get too caught up in what's going on, and they forget about recession times, and they forget that there's downturns in the economy. And right now, I think we're in a good time. There's recently an interview I saw with Shay Carl. He's one of the #1 vloggers on YouTube, and he makes a lot of money from vlogging. And each of his videos, which he uploads daily, gets hundreds of thousands of views. And what he said is that, I'm very optimistic about YouTube, and don't think that I've taken all the money just because I got here 5 or 6 years ahead of all you guys. And one of the things he said was that a rising tide lifts all boats, which pretty much means that because YouTube is expanding and more people going onto YouTube, and video watching is becoming more of a thing, especially on mobile, more and more people will be watching YouTube. So it will lift everyone, every channel, and everyone will be getting more views. And that's true, and I think that's a good use of inspiration. But a similar quote is by Warren Buffett, and it goes, "When the tide goes in, you will figure out who is swimming naked." And the point of that quote is that in a bull market, or when everyone is doing well, in a prosperous economic time, everyone's doing well, and that may not be because of you. It's just the fact that the economy is doing well that is pushing up everyone. So you don't want to get too arrogant or too cocky, and you think that you're doing all the stuff. And I hear this all the time. I hear this warning all the time from the books I read. There's this one book by a billionaire. He's really old, but he has decades of experience. His name is T. Boone Pickens. He's an oil and energy guy, and in his book, The First Billion is the Hardest, I did a video book summary, book insights video on my YouTube channel for him. And one of the things he said, and I've heard this so many times, but this is the most recent time I've heard it, he said that in bull times, because the industry was doing well, all the business owners and CEOs attributed that to their own skill set. So they got very arrogant, and they thought, oh, our business is doing well because I came into the business and I made it do well. When in reality, all these oil companies were doing well simply because it was a bull market, and the economy and the prosperous times was really pushing everyone up. Every company was doing well. And so because of that, they got too cocky and arrogant, and then when tough times hit, most of them went out. And Warren Buffett talks about this a lot in his shareholder letters. He's written them every year for like 50 years, and that's one of the things he says a lot in when he references insurance companies and so forth. And he says that a lot in his speeches when he talks about insurance. There's a few speeches when all the insurance companies were doing well, and interviewers were asking him, well, what do you attribute this to, and what should we do, and how are you doing so well? And he responded, well, now is a pretty prosperous time, and all the insurance companies are doing well. And I tend to measure myself on the long-term trend and the 10-year or 15-year or 30-year trend. And so even though our insurance company is doing well now, all the companies are doing well now, and some of them are taking some shortcuts because of that we are not taking. So I don't want to get too complacent. So that's something very important, and I think it'll be of use to you in your business. And even if you're not in a business now, you may consider running one in the future. Or you may just, you know, I think this is useful in life in general. A lot of people happen to luck out and they start attributing this to their own skill set. Oh, I got so good at YouTube. I have millions of views on YouTube because I'm so skilled. In reality, maybe that's true to a certain extent. Maybe you got very lucky. And then what happens one day when that all goes down the drain? And I've seen a lot of channels with millions of views, all of a sudden, like, they're struggling, their channel starts dying, and they spend months, years trying to fix it, and it's very tough, and some of them can't do it. And maybe you don't have a YouTube channel, maybe you're just an average guy, average girl or guy. Same thing can apply to you one day in a variety of ways. Maybe you got lucky in terms of work, in terms of you know, dating, whatever else. So beware. And the thing is, not everyone's going to have the fortune of hearing this advice, and fewer are going to listen to it. And so whatever it is, maybe you were born really good looking, and then you think like the world is like your oyster and everyone loves you, and then you exploit that too much, and then one day you, I don't know, you start aging and your beauty starts fading, and then you realize you've been a jerk to everyone and very arrogant. So there's a variety of things. This video is getting too long. See you guys later. As always, like and subscribe. Peace.